Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily Nostroza. How are you guys doing? So today I am going to be talking about personal branding. And personal branding is a topic that has been of interest to me, especially recently now that I've been working on my YouTube channel and also just getting ready to start my life as a consultant and being a full-on professional. And personal branding is something that's really important that you want to keep in mind, especially when you're beginning to look for internships, get into the recruitment process or start your full-time job. If you guys are interested in watching more videos related to my post-grad life and any college advice, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click that bell button so you can receive notifications next time I post a new video. Alright, so let's dive into today's topic of personal branding. So what is personal branding? Personal branding refers to the process of establishing and promoting your unique self. As Jeff Bezos once said, your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So your personal brand signifies everything that you are. It refers to who you are, what you stand for, what you're known for, what your values are, and how you express yourself and carry yourself every single day. Your personal brand is a combination of your experiences, your skills, your background, your values, and it is essentially what the world sees about you. So some of you guys may be wondering, why is personal branding important? Why are people talking about it, or how does it relate to me? Having a strong personal brand is important because it gives you the opportunity to highlight your qualities, your strengths, your passions, and make sure that the people see you the way you want them to see you. Having a strong personal brand also allows you to dig deep into who you really are, who you want to be, and ultimately what differentiates you from other people, and being able to also articulate and express your unique self. In your professional life, personal branding is very important because it allows you to clearly communicate a unique identity and provide value for your employer or potential clients. Alright, so now let's dive into how to build a strong personal brand. And I have 10 tips. Tip number 1 is to know yourself. Spend time reflecting and figuring out who you are. The best way to develop a unique personal brand is to be true to who you are. Dig deep into your own self and do your best to be genuine and authentic. Create a list of your characteristics, your qualities, your strengths, your passions. Ask yourself questions such as, what are my passions? What are my goals? What do I enjoy doing? What gives me energy? What motivates me? What drains me? What fuels me every day? What have other people complimented me on, or what is my story? Asking yourself these questions can be good in trying to figure out who you are, but if you have trouble answering these questions, then ask your family members, ask your friends, ask your co-workers, ask people who know you well, and ask them to give you a genuine response about who they think you are and what your brand is. So once you can begin to describe yourself and your personality, then you can go in and begin thinking about how you want to brand yourself. So tip number 2 is to determine what you want to be known for. Your personal brand is not just a representation of who you are today, but it is also a representation of where you're going, who you want to be, or what you want to do. So evaluate your current strengths and weaknesses and how they relate to that career or that job role that you want to get into. By knowing what skills and capabilities you have, you'll know what can help make you different, as well as what you can learn and improve in order to get to where you want to be. So begin thinking about how you want to be known for as a professional. How do you want people to see you? Or what career or job role do you want to get into? And what will be important for your professional and career development? What you want to be known for can range from being the person who always volunteers, being the person who knows all about tech, being the person who plans all the social gatherings and events, being the person who is the go-to, who will always answer and get back to you right away. Thinking about where you want to be in the next 5 years and what attributes you want to have or be known for can help you determine what next steps to take and how to brand yourself moving forward. Tip number 3 is to define your audience. So as you begin to think about your personal brand, you also first need to think about who you're trying to reach or whose attention are you trying to get. Your target audience could be a company, the recruiters, or the owner of a company. Knowing your target audience will ultimately help you determine how to craft your message, how to share your story, and ultimately where to share your message. If you are searching for an internship or a full-time job, utilize LinkedIn because that is obviously where you will find recruiters and employees of any organization. So LinkedIn will be the place of where you need to be active and where you need to share your message. Make sure you update your LinkedIn so that it highlights your story, your brand, your qualities, what you want to be known for, what you want to do. Make posts, make comments, share other people's posts. related to that career, that industry, that company or job role. Tip number 4 is to research your desired industry and follow the experts. Once you have an idea of what career or industry you want to pursue, do research and follow the experts and the leaders in that industry. Follow them on LinkedIn, see if they have any other social sites. Read what they're posting, what they're sharing, what they're doing. Learn about their achievements, their qualities, and ultimately what made them successful. Try to learn what their path was and what they're doing to make themselves different, unique, and stand out and be a leader. Following and learning about successful people is always a great way to get inspired, get motivated, and learn what you can do to get to the same level while also adding your own flair or your own twist. In building your personal brand, your goal is to stand out and be unique. So follow what successful people are doing, but also make sure to add your own distinct qualities to the mix. Tip number 5 is to ask for informational interview. Once you jot down that list of companies that you want to work for or a list of leaders and experts that you aspire to become, then try reaching out to these professionals and ask them for an informational interview. In my last video, I talked about how to conduct an informational interview, so I'll be sure to put the link up here and also in the description below. Informational interviews only take between 20 to 30 minutes, and they are a really great way to learn about a company, a professional, a career, or an industry. While it can be intimidating or scary to ask someone for a call, especially if they're a leader or an expert, you assume that they will be very busy. My best advice is to just shoot your shot because you got nothing to lose. The worst thing that can happen is that you get a no or you get no response. And that is fine. A no is okay. Not everyone's going to say yes, but you just gotta keep trying until you get to that person who will say yes. And just remember that more often than not, you'll be surprised to see that many people are actually generous and willing to give back and spend their time to try to help you out. So just make sure to reach out, be aggressive with your career, and just take your chance. So before going in and actually asking someone for an informational interview, just make sure to prepare insightful questions to learn more about the career and the path that they took to get to where they are now. Keep in mind that during an informational interview, although you are spending time to learn about them and their professional background, you are also taking the time to share a little bit about yourself and your background. So this is where building your brand comes into play, because this is where you begin to promote and establish your brand. Because ultimately your goal is to sell yourself so that one day you'll be able to land a job at that company, or hopefully they'll reach out to you letting you know about a job opening. During this informational interview, you want to make sure that it goes well, you want to make sure that you present yourself well, that you communicate a personal brand and that will grab their attention and want to call you back for an interview or to hopefully get a job. Tip number 6 is to prepare an elevator speech. As you begin to conceptualize your personal brand, make sure to create a 30 to 60 second elevator speech sharing your story. If you're at an informational interview or at a networking event, having your elevator speech nailed down will make it easy for you to clearly articulate who you are and what you want to do, and will ultimately come off positively to the other individual. Your elevator speech gives you the opportunity to communicate your brand and who you are. So make sure to come up with a short and concise introduction of yourself that shares your story. Tip number 7 is to expand your network. As you form and refine your brand, you want to make sure that you regularly connect with others and expand your professional network. Although we currently cannot attend any events because of COVID-19, we can still attend online webinars, message people on LinkedIn, set up phone calls, or set up video calls. There are so many ways that we can still continue networking, so it is really important that we continue networking and developing those relationships with peers and industry leaders. And don't be shy. When it comes to your career and your goals, you gotta make sure to be aggressive and take action. So reach out, get to know people, and develop that relationship. The more genuine connections that we make, the more that we can share about ourselves as well as provide value for others. And that will ultimately shine a light to our personal brand and get recognized. It is also important to realize that many jobs are filled through networking. So networking not only helps you to build your brand, but it also helps you to boost your career. Tip number 8 is to ask for recommendations. Asking your professors, leaders, colleagues, managers to endorse you or recommend you is one of the best ways to define and demonstrate your personal brand. It essentially allows others to communicate your brand and your value for you. And on sites like LinkedIn, it makes it really easy to have people to endorse you and recommend you. So if you are searching for a job, or even if you're not, ask leaders who know you well, who are close to you, to make a recommendation and to endorse you. Recruiters look through hundreds of LinkedIn profiles, and so having these recommendations and endorsements will allow recruiters to learn more about you, your value, your brand, and ultimately what makes you different from other candidates. Tip number 9 is to grow your online presence. When it comes to your personal brand, It is very important that your online presence is engaging and consistent, whether or not you're looking for a job. Regardless of which social media platforms you are on, make sure that your story and your brand is consistent across all mediums. And depending on where your target audience is, you want to make sure that you put the extra effort onto that platform and make sure that you are communicating your best, genuine, and most authentic self. Alright, so let's talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional networking site, and it is probably the best site for communicating and developing your brand. To establish and promote your brand on LinkedIn, it is important that you participate in groups, connect and reach out to people who interest you, and make posts and comments related to what you're doing, what you want to do, what your interests and passions are. And of course, make sure to ask, but also give recommendations and endorsements. And to effectively tell your story and communicate your brand through LinkedIn, it is important to highlight your current skills, but also to focus on skills that are related to that career or that job role that you want to have. Make sure to always quantify your accomplishments and the value that you added to a company or organization. Make sure that your LinkedIn profile is complete. Also, make sure to have a professional headshot and edit your background photo so that it can tell a little bit more about who you are. And lastly, tip number 10 is to live your brand. Keep in mind that your personal brand isn't just online. Your personal brand is who you are online, but also who you are every day, at home, at work, at an event, or even with your friends. You build a strong personal brand by being true to who you are and being consistent with who you are wherever you are. That is how you build a good and consistent reputation. Also remember that building your brand will be easy when you actually live your brand, regardless of whether you're online, in person, at home, or at work. As you build your brand, keep in mind that your brand is with you every day and everywhere that you go. So therefore, your brand should be authentic, and it should be a reflection of who you are in both your professional and personal life. And so the story that you communicate along with your actions and your interactions will ultimately define your personal brand. Alright, so that is all that I have for today in how to build a strong personal brand. I hope that you guys found this video useful. I know that this information has been helpful for me, especially as I'm thinking about my personal brand and also just doing more research on this topic. If you guys have any questions, then be sure to drop them in the comment section below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up. If you guys want to watch any more of my career and recruiting related videos, you guys can check out my playlist and click on the playlist that says Get Your Dream Job. And if you guys want to continue watching more videos revolving around my post-grad life and any college advice, then make sure to click that subscribe button and also click that bell button so you can receive notifications next time I post a new video. Alright, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys for watching.